Our next inductee is the late Dr. Robert Snetsinger, who is known for his devotion to urban entomology through his work at Penn State, as well as for being the author of the industry's seminal history book, The Rat Catcher's Child. He also was known as Butterfly Bob to many in his community, as you'll soon see.
Robert Snetsinger, who passed away in 2016 at age 88, was a lot of things to a lot of people. To some, he was Butterfly Bob. It was a mantle he was proud to wear as a result of instituting and maintaining the Snetsinger Butterfly Garden, which he and his wife, Dr. Wendy Snetsinger, created in honor of their daughter Claire, whom they lost to cancer in 1989 at age 17. The original 3-acre garden was instituted in 1996 at the Tom Tudyk Memorial Park in State College, Pennsylvania, and satellite gardens have since been established at more than 40 schools, churches, and other public places. To countless Penn State students and academic colleagues, he was Dr. Bob, a specialist in pest insects, and from 1969 to 1998, part of a 4-person interdisciplinary team that developed the Penn State Mushroom Test Demonstration Facility. Until its closure in 2011, the facility operated like a small mushroom farm for Penn State's work in mushroom science and technology with its Mushroom Research Center. Dr. Snetsinger also was very interested in spreading the word about urban pest control. In 1993, he created and co-chaired the first Great Insect Fair on the Penn State campus, which still goes on today and attracts thousands of people annually. He also ran Penn State's pest control short course for several years, and when he took a sabbatical in Puerto Rico in 1983 to study termites, he recruited several local students to attend Penn State to receive their entomology doctoral degrees. He retired in 1999 after a 38-year career with the university. To pest management professionals, Dr. Snetsinger was not only an advocate, but the author of what many in the industry consider to be the seminal book in the history of the industry, The Rat Catcher's Child, published in 1983. It chronicles the beginning of the rat catcher industry in Europe in medieval times, working its way to the 20th century, and how the giants of the industry got their starts. To his daughters, he was dad, and to Wendy, he was the love of her life. He had a curious mind about a lot of things, but history was a specialty. His wife told PMP magazine that the germ of the rat catcher's child came after he wrote a book on just the history of entomology in Pennsylvania. He also created a 300-page compilation of his own family genealogy, which he was able to trace back to the second boat that arrived to the United States after the Mayflower. He had grown up in Lake County, Illinois, on a dairy farm at a time when his family was transitioning from using a horse and plow to a tractor. Knowing both the historical and modern sides of farming, plus being very involved in 4-H, likely shaped his interest in education, history, and outreach through his long career. Dr. Snetsinger also tried to provide as many opportunities for students as he could, especially those in inner cities, his wife recalls. In addition to those he worked with in Puerto Rico, once back in Pennsylvania, he offered outreach programs to local high schools, talking about how pest control could serve as a career. He also supervised several instances where low-income homeowners could get free pest control service as a way to give entomology students field experience. Dr. Charlie Pitts, Professor Emeritus of Penn State, was also the head of the entomology department during Dr. Snetsinger's time there. He surmised Dr. Snetsinger's legacy for the professional pest management industry, saying, "Bob did a lot to increase the professionalism of the industry. His commitment to help establish training was contagious."
I hate to admit this, but as a child, I was actually embarrassed of my father for being a professor of entomology. Nobody knew what entomology was, and once I explained to them what it was, they said, "That's creepy." It also didn't help that he wrote a book called The Rat Catcher's Child, the history of entomology, not a good thing. And then when I went to visit him in his at work, his colleagues called him Spider-Man. As a child, I thought, cool, Spider-Man? No, it wasn't Spider-Man, the guy that can stick to the wall. It was Spider-Man, a guy that likes bugs and mites. Okay, so that's my beginnings with my father. But I watched my father over the years. He was so passionate, so hardworking, and so goal-oriented. He had a goal of creating an insect fair, and also he was another goal was to start a butterfly garden in State College. The fair started out small, but over the years, the event had grown to an annual event, having thousands of people attend this event. And children would come and families would come and they would actually pay money to go and learn about insects. And they learned about, they played fun games with insects. They tried to eat insects, like deep-fried crickets. And they sold T-shirts with funny sayings on them. But the point of the whole fair was to reduce people's fear about insects and to also, appreciate insects. And so that was one of his major goals. Another goal was, after my sister passed away at age 17, he became interested. Let me backtrack. When he was interested in spiders, they called him Spider-Man, right? So after my sister passed away at the age of 17 of cancer, he became much more interested in butterflies. And he was given a portion of a park called the Tudyk Park, which is in State College, which I recommend you to go try to see. And he was given 3 acres by Mr. Tudyk, and he decided to create a butterfly garden. And this was just a desolate piece of property with just weeds. And he decided to clear the land, and then he collected seeds for monarchs, and he planted seedlings and grew the seedlings, and he weeded and watered, and year after year he just was out there in the garden, and people were like, "Who's this guy? Why is he out here doing with the weeds?" And people would ask him questions, and even people would walk by and cut the flowers, and he didn't understand, and he tried to explain to them about the beauty of the butterflies, and it became a beautiful destination for people to go to see the beautiful butterflies. And his nickname became Butterfly Bob, which was, to me, I was like, thank God, because who wants a dad named Spider-Man? I want Butterfly Bob. It's a much better name. So then at age 86, he got diagnosed with cancer, and he told me he had a secret goal. And that goal was that he wanted to live to be 90. But unfortunately, he died at age 88, and this year he would have been 90. So I want to thank the committee for choosing my father to make his final goal a dream. And so I know my father would be very appreciative to be recognized tonight, and I want to thank you for that. And I would also like to let you know that I'm so very proud of my father to be the professor of entomology. So thank you very much.